all becoming. That is ignorance, avidya. And because of our ignorance, we perceive things in a distorted way through the perversions. Things appear to us to be permanent, pleasurable, attractive, and to stand in some relation to ourself, to be a self or the belongings of a self. Because of these distortions, there arises in us craving. Craving for sense pleasures, craving for existence, for sight, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and ideas. Basically, craving hangs on to pleasant feeling. The Buddha says, Vedana pacchaya tanha, that feeling is the condition for craving. Craving is aroused in our mind by the experience of pleasant feeling, and then we long for the continuation of our pleasant experiences and for their repetition in the future. To obtain pleasant feeling, we require agreeable objects, agreeable sight, sounds, smells, tastes, tangibles, and ideas. In order to obtain the pleasure these objects can give, we have to make contact with those objects. That is, we need phassa, contact. And to contact the objects, we need sense organs, sense faculties, that are able to receive the sense impressions, that can function as the instruments of experience. We need, in other words, the 6 sense faculties, the salayatana. To see forms, we need the eye. To hear sounds, we need the ears. To smell odors, we need the nose, and so on. To experience touches, we need the body. To experience ideas, we need the brain, nervous system. Now, in order for these 6 sense faculties to exist, the entire psychophysical organism is required. That is nama rupa, the mind-body complex. The sense faculties do not operate in disembodied space, but as parts of a total organism. Thus, on account of craving, the mind holds on to this presently existing organism, this nama-rupa, as long as it lives. Why? So it can have the 6 sense faculties to contact agreeable objects through the senses, in order that it can enjoy the pleasurable feelings that arise from sense contact. As long as life lasts, we continue to hold on to this same psychophysical organism. Now, when death comes, this body ceases to provide a suitable basis for obtaining pleasure through the senses. Because the sense faculties are dependent upon the rest of the body, when life in the body comes to an end, the senses become defunct. They can no longer serve as the media between the mind and the world. But on account of craving, the mind still wants a world. It wants to experience a world of sights, smells, and so on. And to do so, it needs a physical body. This body can no longer support the mind. But if craving still remains, if there is still the drive for pleasure, for more experience, for continued existence, for sight, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and ideas, what can be done? The mind process lets go of this body. Then, through the craving for existence, the mind process grasps hold of a new body. Thus, craving causes the stream of mind to spring up again, grasping on to a fertilized egg, lodging itself in that fertilized egg, bringing the whole storage of accumulated impressions over with it into the new psychophysical organism. And thus we see a new being has been conceived. For this reason, the Buddha calls craving the seamstress, sibini. Just as a seamstress sews together different pieces of cloth, so craving sews together one life to another. It ties together the succession of lives. Thus samsara, the wandering on in the cycle of existence, is maintained by craving. As long as craving remains, the process goes on. Death is no barrier to the continuation of the process, to the renewal of experience through the 6 sense faculties. Craving is so powerful that it's able to bridge the gap created by death and to rebuild the whole house of sentient existence again and again, over and over. Now we come to the next question. We see that there's a tremendous variety among the living beings existing in the world. The beings we can see, people and animals, of many different sorts. So we can ask, what is it that causes us to take rebirth in a particular form? Does it all happen through coincidence, through accident, through chance, without any reason? Or is there some principle behind it? What is it that determines the form of rebirth we take? The answer to this question the Buddha gives in the word, Pali word kamma, in Sanskrit karma. Kamma is the factor which determines the specific form our rebirth takes, which determines what kind of a person we are at the outset of our life. And it's karma, again, that determines a good number of the experiences that we undergo in the course of our life. The word kamma means literally action, deed, or doing. But in Buddhism, it means specifically volitional action. The reason, because volition is the chief factor in all action. In a sutta, the Buddha says, Chetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadami. Monks,